And all right. We got to get some viewers in here first, but we're live.
It's all right.
Oh, here we go. Let me click go live here on the Instagram. 1 sec. And we should be live.
All right, we are live. Let's see.
Yep. I got the notification on my phone. Let's see. And
Yep.
there we are, Jim.
All right. Here we go. All right, I'm looking at it. Looks good. Here we go.
All right. Into first things gets first. Let's discuss what some might call the craziest comeback in regular season history. Down 3 goals from the Vancouver Canucks, who I believe still have a fighting chance now, as they got a critical couple of points last night. Yeah, let's take it. They do
They have a fighting chance.
It's looking
barely mathematically possible.
Oh God. Well, let's see if Utah still's got a chance. I mean, I don't know. That means Minnesota's going to have to lose. Yeah, I think they just chalk it up. But hey, credits to the fellas there in Vancouver for that hell of an effort last night.
To score 3 goals in under a minute is utterly ridiculous.
I didn't believe it. I mean, I can only imagine if you had Dallas to win.
I was just thinking about it. I was like, how do you score 3 goals with not like a clear, not a save? Like, did they not save one puck?
I don't think they cleared one puck down the ice. All the highlights, they were in the Stars zone. Like, that's insane.
It's probably Mikko Rantanen out on the ice.
Yep. Well, as you guys can see in the bottom of the screen, I think we should all take a moment of silence, though, real quick, for the Mariners baseball bats, as they have died. And it was a sad loss. You know, it's been a couple of years. It looks like they're just not going to revive themselves after 12 innings last night. I believe in all the extra innings, there was not a single hit recorded from the Mariners, as I was watching painfully. There were 2 extra innings where the Mariners went 3 up, 3 down with 3 strikeouts. So, I mean, it's just unbelievable. Yes, Josh Hader is a tough task to ask, but when you're Dan Wilson and you put 3 lefties in a row in the lineup, I don't know what you're doing. Against Josh Hader, what are you doing? You think that 3 lefties are going to stand a chance when J.P. Crawford can hit a fucking beach ball right now? Like, he could just – it looks like J.P. Crawford's seeing a can of, like, just a bean coming at him, and he's trying to swing, and he just can't get contact.
It's just I mean, J.P. Crawford has really struggled after his 2 years of success.
Yeah.
Julio is cold. We'll get into baseball here as we
it's just so annoying.
Bring up the East standings here. It looks like those Metropolitan Atlantic teams, those are locked in. Wild card, we got the Canadians and Senators clinched last night.
Ottawa. Shit.
And a shout out to the New York Rangers for sucking at hockey. Give it up for the New York Rangers. All right.
All right. New York, get up.
Pump it up. I got one more chant. Wait. Igor.
Yep.
All right, Igor.
He's about the best player on the offensive side as well for the Rangers.
I mean, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference.
Oh, man.
We'll hop into what a day in the life looks like when you are trying to make some bets. And this is our strategy ourselves. We'll talk a little baseball as we actually have some live games here. But what I like to do personally, then we'll give Evan his strategy.
Yep.
Is if you click on a game, head over to the same game parlay. And what you're going to want to do is either 2 hits, runs, RBIs, good odds around here.
So is
And
that
another,
cash if it's just 2 as well? Like,
yeah.
okay.
And then an RBI. This is my go-to in baseball season. So let me
As
now
King Tuck was plus 175. Hello.
go to this tab here. So what I do is, let's see if it'll let me click on this here.
As Tommy, my strategy is to lose money, says Tommy.
Away Tomas. So you're going to go down here. See the lineups over here? I like to pick anyone in the 4 through 7 hole, because these 3 guys are going to get on. As you see, the 300 average. Same here. Not as good of an average, but if one of those guys gets on, then ducks on the pond. Good chance for an RBI.
Soderstrom, 10 RBIs. How about the kid?
And for some reason, the ball seems to carry in Sacramento way more than it was in Oakland.
Been a couple.
I can tell you that.
Osvaldo Bido. Haven't heard of that guy before.
Beto. It's all right. All right. And then another thing that you can do is the strikeouts. You look for a lineup. The Mariners are a good lineup to do this against.
Yep, and I was just about to say.
As they strike out all day and all night.
All night. All day.
It doesn't show the strikeouts until the game, but at least a strikeout, probably a strikeout, 2 strikeouts,
Yep.
2 strikeouts,
Yep.
1, 3, 4, 8.
8.
I mean, that's just the math that it looks to add up here. They're going up against Hunter Brown. Let's see.
Oh, there you go. There's
look at all those Ks. That's a lot of Ks. So then we'll head over here.
Wow, JP Crawford, out of 12 at-bats, he's striking out half the time. That's awesome.
Let's go here. Alternate strikeouts. I mean, look at that.
It seems like we are still on the ESPN page here, Mr. Toast.
Oh, sorry.
There we go.
All right. Just look at here. Like it's still freaking minus 142 to get 7.
Oh my God. I mean,
that's how bad we are.
Club that can't hit the ball. It's just sad because they can't even put the ball in play to get out, to force the defense to make a play.
I know.
They just simply – I wonder how many are also just 3-pitch strikeouts. Like Cal will get into an 0-2 count, and he's almost guaranteed swinging at the next pitch. Like,
as they just signed him to a big contract to continue to strike out. But that's all right, as he'll be on the podcast here in a few weeks.
Exactly. Tomorrow.
But Evan, what's your strategy for a baseball? At least we could.
For a baseball, I like to keep it short and sweet to 3 legs. Like I had, for example, yesterday, I had a Nerfy in the Mariners Astros game, which any Nerfy in the Mariners games should seem like a lock if there's good pitchers on both sides of the ball. I also had a Nerfy on, what was the other one? It was the Brewers. It was like the Brewers Rockies. It was Peralta versus Freeland. So I felt comfortable there. And then I tried to throw a little money line in as I thought the Padres could get. So I tried to do 2 Nerfies in like a money line if I'm doing any baseball. And I threw the Padres in there. And when I went up 3-0 in the first, I felt pretty good until I checked back in the bottom of the first and Dylan Cease lets up 6 runs in the bottom of the first inning, and there goes the Padres. So
That's incredible.
like, dude, they went up 3-0, Machado home run, all with
6
2 outs.
runs.
6 runs in the bottom of the first. And then, like, oh my God, I thought Dylan Cease was supposed to be pretty good. But like an example today of like a money line I'd rock with, I honestly would maybe rock with the A's again. For some reason, they're playing really good at home right now in Sacramento. But like I would do the A's. Let's see what other pitchers we have. Maybe a Yerfie in the Giants game, not a Nerfie, because Verlander likes to let up a run or two in the first every time. But the Reds can't hit the baseball, so maybe I would actually do the Nerfie.
That's true. That's one of those hit or miss. It's like Verlander could give up 30 in the first, or he could strike him out.
Yep. Who's pitching against the Cubs today?
Trevor Mahle. Melee. He's good. He's got a 1.3.
See, like maybe that would be a little Nerfie then there. Maybe I could just do a 2-leg where you just throw a Nerfie in the Rangers-Cubs game, and then I mean, you could always throw the under in the Mariners game. That's always a lock, it seems
1.35.
That's pretty solid. You could do a Mariners team total under. They just can't score the ball.
So I don't think this is recording or this isn't recording. It's just live.
Okay.
Should we start recording it?
I don't have time to record anymore, but
no, I can just hit record from now.
Okay, let's do it.
There we go. Alrighty. As we go back to the MLB here, should we make some picks of the day for the crew?
Yeah, let's do it. I like that under in the Rangers in the a no-run first inning in the Rangers and Cubs, Imanaga, and I mean,
looks like it's a rainy one too.
Yep, in Chi-Town.
Let's see what we got here. Air quality is poor. Wind gust of 22. Let's hope that's not going out.
Yeah, that's true. It's coming back in. I just got a hint from my guy there in Chicago.
There, if you guys go to the Real app, it actually will tell you where the wind is blowing. As I'm going to check that from my phone real quick here. It is out to left field, which means the ball will be flying for those right-handers.
Yep. If they can get contact.
They got to get contact. That's the issue.
Yep.
Let me write down our play here, and we'll make a post. You know, we're going old school. We're going with the notebook, fellas.
That's what I'm talking about.
I didn't know I still had one of these. But let's start it off with, you said a Nerfie in the Cubs-Rangers game here. Nerfie in the Cubs-Rangers.
Yesterday, I believe it was 4-3 in the Orioles-Diamondbacks game. So those two pitchers look like they're not off to the best start if you want to throw the over on that game, as those two ball clubs can elevate that ball in Arizona in a hurry.
For sure. You see Dean Kramer and Brandon Pfaadt on the mound here.
Fucking hell. That ball might be out of here.
Let's see here. Quit blowing up my phone during a podcast. Gosh darn it. Let's see what we have here. 'Cause it's all right. So the Dodgers lineup is not out yet.
As Tommy Edman has 5 dongs on the year. How about Tommy?
Away Tomas. I would take an RBI in this game.
Which one?
The
Padres Athletics.
yes, but Beto seems to be unbelievable. Maybe using pine tar this year.
Osvaldo, you dirty boy.
Gavin Sheets with 6 ribbies in the 4-hole. That would probably be my pick. Otherwise, the rest of their lineup is going to get scorched.
I don't mind that.
But let me check one more game here. As we want to be hitting these. We're not just throwing these out. We're here to win ball games. Alrighty. As Evan said, there will probably be a lot of runs in this one.
Yeah. I just like doing overs in Arizona, as the game just never seems to be over.
Maybe a Josh Naylor or a Eugenio RBI. I would go with Naylor.
Yeah.
All right, let's add that one in there.
No, Naylor. Show
Josh
me your
Naylor.
Josh.
Josh Naylor. RBI. And then we could go with maybe some hockey. Let's see what we got going.
I like it. Let's take a trip over to the ice rinks here, Jim. Come on.
Don't know if I want to touch any of these games.
Yep. Very weird slate of games here.
Possibly the Wild, but that's too big of a favorite. I mean, honestly, the only one I see is probably the Rangers.
Yeah, those guys in Philly aren't very good.
I can't stand the Rangers, but if you look over here, they do need to win.
Who are they playing again?
The Flyers.
Flyers, so.
Who are last in the wild card race. Cause it's all right.
I like those 4 picks.
Let's see what let's see here. Rangers at -178. Rangers money line. So it was the Nerfy and the Cubs Rangers.
Yep.
Naylor RBI, Rangers money line. What was the fourth?
The fourth was I believe a Gavin Sheets RBI, if you still wanted to do that.
Gavin Sheets RBI. Let me look into that one more time. Let's see what our odds are on Mr. Sheets.
Hey Gavin.
Show me your sheets. Do 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 do.
Make sure you tuck in
your sheets. All right, let's see what we have here. Cause it's all right. +130. I don't love that. Let's see if we could find another one. Cause it's all right. Who's hitting 4th for the Astros? Because you know they're gonna score.
I believe Jordan was 3rd and maybe
Altuve 2 bases.
Yeah, against this guy. Against our off-brand Luis Castillo.
Literally. 2 hits, runs, RBIs. That might be good for Altuve.
Well, I believe it was Walker in the 4-hole. He didn't seem to have a good piece of it last night, so.
He's been slow to start the year. Let's do Altuve 2 bases.
Let's get the odds up there.
Or should we do Altuve 2 hits, runs, RBIs?
So we're just basically banking on that he gets a double or 2 singles or a home run. I kind of just like the 2 hits, runs, RBIs.
Yep, that's what I was thinking.
It's sad when there's 6 players there and there's only 1 Mariner on the player to record, and that player probably won't even record 2 hits, runs, or RBIs.
Julio.
Yep.
Julio Jones. Yeah, that's a brutal look. But let's talk a little bit about let's go away from betting here for a little bit here. Let's talk about how the national championship ended up here. I know it is Wednesday, so we're a little late here.
But dude,
what a game from Houston and Florida. Just a great college basketball season, as I followed along the whole season. Many don't. Florida just had the better team. They just fought till the end. Houston, once they had a lead, they just seemed to struggle with the basketball. And when you struggle with the basketball, can't string together good possessions against a team like that, Florida can score in a hurry. And that's what they did. Walter Clayton was let off the hook.
Yeah.
He finally strung together some once he got some free throws, and it was history.
I just can't believe, and I feel bad for all the Houston fans. That last possession, I mean, I can't believe I just saw that. As a man who had some money on Florida, I loved it. But I mean, as Kelvin Sampson said, like, to end the season, you can't do that. Like, you got to get a shot up, even if the shot was that right there without that pump fake. Like, you got to give yourself at least some sort of chance. I don't know what he was doing when he left his feet and then bounced the ball. Like, I think he just totally had a fucking brain fart. And I think he thought for a second that he was going to be wide open, which he was after, but obviously you can't touch the ball. And so he had to go box out the Florida guy. And at that point, I do think they also got started a bit late. Like, there was like 6 seconds, 7 seconds on the shot clock when Cryer passed the ball. And I was like, dude, if you guys were down too, it's like, why wouldn't you just want to at least like maybe try to get a 2 for a layup or something? Maybe try to get fouled, like they were going for the win apparently. But
my thought process in that situation is you got to get to the foul line at minimum. So you got to drive the ball and hope you get fouled or you make the shot.
Yeah.
You could not settle for a 3-pointer. The only way I'm shooting a 3-pointer is if it's wide open off an out of bounds play.
Yep.
Realistically, if you're in the national championship, you're going to fire up a contested 3 to win or lose. You don't trust your team going into the overtime is what it seemed like.
Yeah. And I think in overtime, that would have been.
Tugler did foul out, who was one of their better players. So maybe they thought that would affect them if it was the full overtime. But I don't know.
Nonetheless, though, Florida, hell of a comeback. I mean, down 12. They led for like 46 seconds of the whole game I saw.
Everyone wanted or said Duke was going to win.
Yep.
Florida had other plans.
Florida did have other plans. Houston had other plans with Duke. God, you talk about that comeback a little bit too. That was
magnificent. I mean, I've never seen something so amazing.
I have not seen
someone who had Duke in one of my brackets. I did win my big one with Florida. So jump. But other than that, the Blue Devils seemed like they were going to walk through the whole competition.
I mean,
it looked like they were, and they fell asleep at the wheel.
Mm-hmm.
And that cannot happen. It seemed like some freshman mistakes. Cooper Flagg misses an assignment on the 3-pointer, and then at the end of the game, they can't get the ball in. Maybe try a new inbounder when you can't get the ball in twice.
Yeah.
And you send out the same guy, and he still just throws it straight to Houston. At least give your guy a fighting chance.
Yeah.
They just tossed it up straight to Houston.
And it was crazy how they literally pissed that game away, but yet they actually still got like kind of a good shot with Cooper Flagg at the end. Like,
yeah,
he's probably made that like 9 out of 10 times, but obviously the kid's 18, 19, like, dude.
Still a tough shot, but
yeah,
it's a good shot when you're going up against Houston and they know exactly where it's going.
Yep. Got the number one guy, probably number one draft pick in the NBA. You'd hope he could at least get the last shot in one of those situations, which I'm glad at least they gave him to, got to add to his fame of his career a little bit at Duke. But
absolutely.
God, dude. Florida ends up taking it home. Walter Clayton Jr. What a tournament he had.
He was slowed down in the Houston game.
Yeah.
I don't know. Let me check how many points he ended up with, but
couldn't have been more than 15, I want to say. It had to have been under.
No, the first half he had 0. Will Richard stepped up. He had 18.
Yep.
Clayton had 11, so that's pretty good. 7 assists, 5 rebounds. I mean, he won him the game at the end with the 3-pointer and the 2 and 1s.
Yeah, okay, I believe 2 and 1s. Those are pretty tough.
Excuse me here.
God bless you.
Some bad allergies here in the North Carolina pollen infested air. But what are your thoughts on how the NHL season has drastically changed as the let me share this real quick. As 2 Canadian teams are going to seem to make it here.
Yeah. And 2 Canadian teams with great fan bases to get their teams going. And Lord knows, as I'm an adopted Hurricanes fan, it seems like they just play so much better in Raleighwood. And it's true. At playoff hockey, the environment at home it's needed. It's nice to be that. Like, obviously, if the Hurricanes can just hold on to this 2 seed, which I'm pretty sure they'll end up doing, it'll be nice to have at least the advantage at home to have for the first 2 games. And most importantly, the first game of the playoffs for them will be in Raleighwood with maybe Mr. Toastman in attendance. You never know. That kid.
He will be in attendance.
That's what I'm talking about. Oh, my God.
When you look at that, they are going to have the home ice as long as they win one more game, I believe.
Yep.
Or just get a point in any game. But, I mean, home ice is big because the game, if it's going to be a close series, I don't know if it will, but then Game 7 will be at home.
Yeah.
Which is what you need. But
let's hope it
usually when you get to a Game 7, the home ice isn't as big because anything can happen. As we saw a couple of years ago, the Rangers came into PNC and took care of business. You hope that doesn't happen again. Game 7 dagger for the fans and the players.
Yeah,
but I think the Hurricanes should be able to handle the Devils here in the first round. Then they will play the winner of the Capitals and the Senators, I believe. It might be the second wild card. I think it might be the Canadians.
I forget. This might sound stupid. There's the 1 seed. Did they have a bye?
No.
Okay.
The 1 seeds, both 1 seeds play. I'm pretty sure the Capitals play the Canadians. And then the Maple Leafs will play the Senators.
Yeah.
Panthers will play the Lightning. Is what it looks like.
We got some good matchups here in the first round. Holy
I'm
shit.
excited. I mean,
Lightning Panthers first round hockey. Wow. That was second round last year, I believe.
Was it second or first? I can't remember.
They might have been first, but
who did the Maple Leafs play?
The
Boston.
Bruins. Yeah. Oh yeah, where are the Bruins at?
It was first round because then the Maple Leafs played the Panthers.
That's right. So God, hockey just leads you with good first rounds. Fuck, this is awesome.
That's the thing is, like, you think you're just gonna walk in the park in the first round. Maybe in the NFL you can do that, but not here.
Yeah.
Not in the NHL. You got to get through a gauntlet, and maybe even more of a gauntlet here in the West.
Yeah, I was gonna say let's take a peek down here. I want to see this. All right, so the 1 seed's still up for grabs. Technically, yeah. Looks like the Jets will hold on to the overall 1 seed in the West.
I don't know if this updated overnight. I believe it did, but the Stars did lose. But they
How
would have to
about
win.
the Blues?
Let's go Blues. Let's go
Blues.
Blues.
Buchnevich.
I believe it'll be the Kings and the Oilers and the Knights and the Avalanche in the first round here.
Kings Oilers once again. That's
Stars will play.
Yeah, Stars will play the Blues then, and the Jets will play the Wild.
It's weird how it works because I think it's Central. I don't know exactly how it works because I think it's the overall 1 seed plays the worst seed. So but then it's like the Metropolitan or the Central and the Pacific 1 versus the 3. So it might be Vegas versus no, I think it's the 2 and the 3. So I think it's Kings and Oilers, Stars and Avalanche.
Wow.
I believe.
And then it'll be Golden Knights, Blues, Jets, Wild. I mean, are we just on repeat?
I think it's Jets, Wild. I can't remember how it works because I want to say that it might be overall points, which means it would be Stars and Blues. But besides the fact, some unbelievable matchups here.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I'm excited to watch. This is probably my favorite time now, like besides NFL playoffs. This is bumped above all my other playoffs to watch, as the Hurricanes have obviously made it again, which will be great. But it's just the match. I mean, shit, we're on repeat again here with the Kings Oilers for like the 3rd or 4th year in a row. Like, oh my God.
I did just see a comment from Jared Holst here in North Carolina. I didn't know how to get the Twitch chat as this is our first time live streaming, but we do have a question on Alexander Nikishin, who was over in the Russian Hockey League, KHL. He is set to sign today in Carolina. Some are saying he is set to be one of the best defensemen in NHL history if he is able to come over.
Wow.
I don't know if he is able to come over. It looks like he is set to sign per Jared Holst. He usually has some good sources over here. But if he signs today, the Hurricanes, oh my gosh, that defense, that blue line is going to be bolstered. And another big Russian on the blue line. I mean, Orlov and Nikishin.
Yeah, we got Orlov there.
I mean, there's going to be some heavy hits, and he can score the puck. He can score the puck, that's for sure. I think he is a bigger, faster, or not as fast, but bigger Cale Makar. I don't want to compare him to Cale Makar because that's the best defenseman in the NHL right now, but they're saying that's how he plays, very offensive-minded. And, you know, one of our favorite announcers over in Colorado, Cale Makar.
Big Val.
Val Nichushkin. Doesn't
McKinnon.
I mean, we're not Avs fans, but when you got an announcer like that, it will fire up the crowd. And some great saves from Mr. Wedgwood last night as they had a backup goaltender against the Golden Knights. Didn't know if you saw that one as it went into a shootout.
I did.
Wedgwood stopped all 3.
Who won? Who did win that one?
The Avalanche. But the Knights got their point, so they clinched home ice in the first round. So maybe they are playing. I believe the Knights might play the Blues.
Yeah, it looks like that.
But they were saying something about the Knights playing the Avalanche. I don't know how that would happen, but Avalanche. Yeah, because the Avalanche can't slip into the wild card even if they lost out.
Okay, so it says here the top division winner in each conference will play the second wild card team, and the other division winner will play the first wild card team. So you're right.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was. But then it would be 2 and 3. So it would be Stars and Avs. Nico Rantanen versus the Avs. Oh my God, get your popcorn ready. And you know what would suck is if either team who just traded away countless young pieces. I guess the Stars didn't trade that many young players, but the Avalanche seemed to redesign their whole team for a playoff push. If they were to go out in the first round, that would be quite brutal.
Some would say that'd be comical.
But
it's to me, it sucks that one of those two teams has to go home in the first round.
But
hey,
and the Kings and Oilers.
I was going to say, the Kings and Oilers, one of them has to go home. And let's not forget, I mean, with Jack Hughes
matchups.
With Jack Hughes on the Devils, obviously got hurt, but Hurricanes or Devils has to go home. So, like, those two teams, like, they're good teams that are going to have to fucking go home here. Obviously, they're in the playoffs, but I mean,
you play a full 82 games and then you just get sent home in 4 to 7 games. It is brutal.
Yeah. Well, that might have to do it for me here as I have to head to class here. Don't worry, Mom, I'm still a scholar over here.
That's what we like to hear. I mean, first live podcast. We might post this one if it recorded. We don't know. But
I like the live feel, though. I like just going through like this shit. It's fun.
Yeah, it's just a day in the life. We don't need any scripts or any of that crap. We'll just dive right into what we're thinking. But we appreciate whoever stopped in. Tommy, Jared, Solly, Ertley, you name it. I mean, just a great sporting crew. But we will probably do one more podcast this week, and then we're going to do shorter podcasts here. But we appreciate everyone stopping in as we get ready for the NBA and NHL playoffs. We'll talk about that again.
Oh, yeah.